in 1996. I am in New York, and I have a high profile as a scholar of Islam in New York. And Dr. Daniel Pipes, who studied at the Temple University in Philadelphia under Professor Ismail Faruqi, who got his PhD in Islamic Studies, and considered himself to be a scholar and could teach us Muslims a couple of things. So Daniel Pipes wrote an essay which he published in the Los Angeles Times. Muslims have no claim to Jerusalem because Jerusalem is not even mentioned once in the Quran. So I decided I must respond to Daniel Pipes. And the book must be entitled Jerusalem in the Quran. Daniel Pipes, you could take that and put it in your pipe and smoke it. So 1996, 97, 98, I was working on the book. And you had to use a methodology to bring the verses of the Quran together to be able to penetrate the subject. And it was my good fortune that I was a student of a teacher who gave precisely that methodology. Maulana Fadlur Rahman Ansari rahimahullah. But in addition to methodology for studying the Quran, you could not understand the Quran unless you also focus attention on events which are unfolding in the world, in the political sphere. Was it by accident that Britain became a ruling state in the world? And the world experienced what they called Pax Britannica. Was it by accident that the United States then put Britain in its place and took over? And the world then experienced the United States as the ruling state in the world. And so Pax Americana replaced Pax Britannica. Is this going to continue forever? The student had to have insight, basira, to be able to apply what was in the Quran and what was in the Hadith to events which are unfolding in the world. And by Allah's kindness and grace, the cover of this book shows the product of that effort. That there are three circles. It's a Malay artist who did this. And the three circles represent the three periods or the three stages of the life of Dajjal. That the Prophet said, sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam, that when Dajjal is released on earth, he will live for 40 days. Yawmun kasana, a day which would be like a week, a year. Yawmun kashahr, a day which would be like a month. Yawmun kajum'ah, a day which will be like a week. وَسَائِرُ أَيَّامِهِ كَأَيَّامِكُمْ, and all his days, meaning all the rest of his days, like your days. That's the hadith. 1400 years had passed. No one was able to understand and interpret until the right moment came. Until events had unfolded in the world. Until proper methodology was used to apply to the Quran and to the Hadith. And we came to the conclusion that when Dajjal was in the first stage of a day which is like a year. Britain emerged as the ruling state of the world. That is the explanation of Pax Britannica. If you have another explanation, we would love to hear it. This is ours. And then, when the United States took over from Britain and Pax Americana replaced Pax Britannica, we said, this is Dajjal in a day which is like a month, second stage. And as a consequence, we were able to anticipate that the United States will not remain flying high forever. That the United States is going to fall. And that a new ruling state will replace the United States. This is 20 years ago. This analysis was done 20 years ago. But no one could possibly think that the United States would be in the state where it is today. With the US dollar in a hospital in Manhattan, in ICU. We have the expert of monetary economics right here. And a new monetary system around the corner to replace the existing bogus and fraudulent monetary system, petrodollar system. It is because we said the child has to move to a day which is like a week. We are able to anticipate that the movement from one day to another always came with great wars. And therefore, the succession from the United States to the successor state must witness great wars. It took us some time, however, to recognize that that great war, which is to come, which will witness the fall of the United States, would be the Malhama, would be what the Christians call Armageddon. It is only over the last 2 years that our knowledge and understanding of Ilmu Akhir al-Zaman has allowed us to recognize another part of the subject. Gog and Magog, which is the companion volume to this book. An Islamic view of Gog and Magog in the modern world, we have it at the back in English this time. And that Russia was not Magog. I made a mistake. No, Russia is not Magog. Gog and Magog are the Judeo-Christian Zionist alliance, which have NATO as their military arm. That's Gog and Magog. And that Russia is room of the Quran. غُلِبَتِ الرُّومِ, says Allah in the Quran. And Allah speaks in the Quran of Rome being victorious twice. لِلَّهِ الْأَمْرُ مِنْ قَبْلُ وَمِنْ بَعْدُ. Decision making concerning victory and defeat is with Allah. And Rome will therefore be victorious on the previous occasion, which happened during the lifetime of Nabi Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam. And Rome will also be victorious min ba'd, in a subsequent occasion, which will have to be Akhir al-Zaman. And so when the big war comes, which is around the corner now, which is why they're circling Russia, which is why they attack Russia in Crimea and attack Russia in Ukraine, because they are hungry for that big war. But when the big war comes, we have some news for you, Washington, and we have some news for you, London, and we have some news for you, Paris. And we have some news for you, Jerusalem, because this is Islamic eschatology speaking. Like no other eschatology can speak. Ilmu akhiru zaman. And that is that Russia will survive. Russia will survive the Malhama.